That sounds like a
classic rock
that sounds
now.
like the
is
pork
just,
guy.
if
The
it's
meat.
25 years
The
ago.
what?
You sound like Sam Elliott there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, pork guy.
Eve, it's the good thing to eat.
Because really, classic rock is like 60 years old. So if Gaga was 2009,
Yeah.
it would just be a poppy sound. That's Lady Gaga on the Rule and Ryan Show, 104.1
You ever heard of her?
KRVE. Anybody heard of her? Okay.
Actually, we had her on
the Monday after my wedding.
Yeah.
Gaga was on to talk about her album and her tour coming
She
up.
called to thank you or congratulate you.
Yeah, it was really sweet. That was amazing.
Forgot about that.
I don't even know if
She was
I had
with
that
you
audio.
too just last night, I believe.
At the Sphere.
Oh, she was at the Spear?
In Vegas.
Singing with them.
Wow.
Are you proud of me? I said Spear, not Sphere.
No, it's supposed to be
it's
Sphere.
Sphere, not Sphere.
Sphere.
You
I
said it
can't
wrong.
say it right. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm saying it like I'm throwing a
Like you're gonna
spear.
stab someone.
It's the sphere.
The best part
The
is you go,
sphere.
did I say it? You proud of me? I said it right?
Unless I said it wrong.
No, you said it.
Damn it.
It's like
You
fear.
have lost.
Think of
lost
fear
it.
with an S.
Yeah.
Fear with
I don't
an
know why
S.
I can't say
It
it.
is Friday. I mean, I know
I
what
know.
you mean. I'm
I
just
know.
like,
It's
10 yet? I'm ready
I know,
to start
I
partying.
know. What is something strange you've seen lately? Somebody sent us a picture of somebody in line at HEB wearing a rainbow umbrella hat with a
I
headband
saw
on it.
that picture. That's
My
funny.
sister had that. I remember in the 80s. I remember a little kid going, what is this thing?
So Eric and Ryan have some stories
Go ahead,
to share
Eric.
of the oddness of the day.
And if anyone wants to call in, you can. If not, no big deal.
713-390-KRV.
If you go to producer Eric, you'll see my evidence. It was right there this morning. I got on my truck, looked down. I'm like, what?
You're like,
Panties? What is
Well, this is odd.
And they were just sitting there. I got to roll it. I kind of kicked it. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's underwear.
And they're not just like dropped there fresh from a laundry
Are they
basket.
like-
they're like run
not like
over and there's
sexy-
grass in them.
they're giant grandma panties?
Oh, no.
No,
They
they're just
look like
dirty. They're
yeah,
just grassy and like they've been mud.
They weren't like
right, run
silky
over.
panties or anything. It was like cotton.
I told to Eric off the air, y'all, that yesterday when I left, I could have sworn I saw a black no-show sock
What is going on
that
back
was
here?
down in the parking lot.
But what happens to somebody that all of a sudden you just had to get rid of your undies?
Yeah, my underwear. Well, if you had an accident.
No, but
I
this
didn't look that
is-
far. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would have smelled something.
Like, do you think that maybe it was probably in somebody's car that was parked there?
It has rained.
And when they opened the door for some reason, maybe their back seat door, maybe somebody was sitting in the back seat and they had that on the seat.
Oh, yeah,
and
maybe
it
they
fell
went to a
out?
laundry mat.
Maybe. But it's been run over a couple times, people parking on it.
Just go to producer Eric, you'll see. I'm like, what is this?
Anybody recently park at 9801 Westheimer and now you're missing a pair of underwear? So that's what Eric saw. What did you see, Ryan?
This is the weirdest thing. I'm in the grocery store. I'm in a Kroger. I'm in the produce section. I keep hearing this weird noise, and I'm like, that doesn't quite sound human. You know, it sounded like a woman who was being choked or something. It was, "Ah!" And I was like, what? What the hell is that? And I keep hearing it. You know, and
How's it
I'm-
go again? How did?
It was just making weird ass noises. And I walk around behind like the apples. Here's a guy. He's got a parrot sitting on his shoulder.
What?
It's like a pirate.
that
He's
legal?
Like a
walking.
macaw, like you see in
No, it
the
was a
tropical
gigantic.
islands?
It was like a gigantic parrot. This thing was. You remember what that toy we used to have, Squawkers?
Oh, Squawkers.
It looked like Squawkers sitting on his shoulder. It was just the weirdest thing. I'm like, can those things fly away? I mean,
And is there a rule against? Can you bring a bird into a food place?
that was just really weird.
Right.
Think
Can
about
you
it.
bring a parrot into the grocery store to shop with you?
Like nobody said anything to this guy.
I remember one
Like,
time
maybe
Rula brought a llama. Didn't you do that in Philadelphia? Like a seeing llama instead of a seeing eye dog?
Oh, yes, we did do that. Oh, my God.
Where'd you bring the
I forgot
llama?
about it. We had the guy that was working on my show. His name was Diego. And somebody that listened to the show had a llama. And Diego put a leash on the llama and walked it into the grocery
and
store.
sunglasses and pretending he was blind.
Yes, to see
Oh,
if
my God,
anybody
a
would
seeing-
come up to him and say, you can't have that here.
Seeing
And
eye
he'd be like, It's
llama.
my seeing eye llama.
That'd be weird. I used to see guys with ferrets. Like, they put that on their shoulder thinking they're cool and walk around.
They're mean little suckers, though. They bite.
Well, we have listeners who raise them and love them so
Yeah.
much. All
They're
I can
cute.
tell you is the strangest thing that I've seen lately that's really scary, like Halloween scary, is my water bill.
Wait,
And the water bill is terrible.
did you? But why?
I don't know. Kevin, I put it
got a
on
leak?
social media that something was going up the water bill. Like, am I crazy?
Like-
and I got all these comments. Everyone's like, oh my God, the water bill is nuts right now. I go, why? I don't know. So I'm still
It did go up a smidge. I mean, they're allowed to up us a little bit, but it shouldn't be. I guess your house would probably be maybe $100 a month.
I got a water bill for $1,200.
Rula, that's like
Whoa.
empty your pool.
Yeah, you must have left your pool
So I am
water
That's like
on.
two
currently,
pools.
I'm currently having a conversation with the city about.
You have a $1,200
we need
water
to
bill.
figure out what's happening here.
Mom
What was,
showers.
what was it before? Like, what did it jump
Like, what's
to?
an
I think it
average?
was like $200 or something.
Oh yeah, then you have some type of unknown leak.
You've got a leak, or you
And
left your pool on.
Also, one thing that you should know is that you can get a one-time variance if there is a leak, like a forgiveness of sorts,
Right.
not a complete
You have to have like
forgiveness.
proof and receipts and reports.
You have to have some stuff to back it up,
So
I
Kevin's
believe.
gonna
Unless
come
you
over,
want
I'll say,
another one of
Inspector
those.
Kevin England.
No, you're gonna have to hire somebody because you don't want that happening week after week
Oh, exactly
or month
right.
after month.
Mario's up on the phones at 713-390-KRBE. What's something strange you've seen lately? I was just making a joke with my water bill, but that's real life. What have you seen, Mario?
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
How y'all doing this morning?
Awesome.
Feeling good. It's Friday. How you feeling?
How you doing?
Oh,
I'm
I'm feeling
feeling
good.
good.
I'm feeling good.
All right,
so
Just
what's
dropping
the,
off daughter. So, it happened about 11 years ago. She's 11 now, so my wife was pregnant with her. So we moved into this house, and unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that the tenant had just passed away. So as I'm moving stuff in by myself, I'm working on situating the furniture, and I hear a loud noise as if keys or chains jiggling, and I yell, I'm in here working. But as I noticed, I didn't hear nobody. I didn't see nobody, but I heard the footsteps right behind me. So I get up and I walk around, and there's nobody in there. I'm not paying attention to it. Days later, I noticed that I always have to have lights on. It's just a thing with me at night. So all the lights are getting turned off as I'm turning them on. They're literally getting turned off in front of my face.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm talking. So as days go by, I'm talking to my wife about it. She's like, "Oh no, you're seeing things. No, you're just crazy." Well, I end up talking to my neighbor, meeting my neighbor, and I mentioned this stuff to him. He's like, the man that lived there just died. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I said, you know what? The other day I heard footsteps and I didn't hear nobody. It sounded like a bunch of keys. He's like, oh no, that's the old man that used to live there. He used to carry a pocket full of change.
Oh,
change?
God.
I was like, stop it, bro. Stop playing, bro. I don't like that kind of stuff. Hold on, man. He's like, no, he always had a pocket full of change. And I was like, bro, I heard that in back of me. I thought there were keys jiggling. He's like, no, that was the old man. He's like, matter of fact, nobody's ever lived in that home but him and his wife.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Okay.
How fast did you move out?
So this turned into a ghost story. So
Yeah.
That's the lighter stuff. So I used to work nights, so I would sleep during the day, and like I said, my wife would be there at home at night. In the daytime, as I'm asleep, I hear banging on the top by the threshold, just bang, 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 bang. So I open the door, I run to my wife, and I say, "What the heck are you banging on the door for? What is wrong with you?" And she's like, "What are you talking about? I'm in the kitchen cleaning and cooking." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You're banging on the door. You know, I just got off of work." And I'm yelling at her. Come to find out, I talked to my neighbor again. He's like, I said, "Bro, I heard banging on the top." He's like, "Yeah, he was a tall old man." So it makes perfect sense that it'll sound like on the top of the threshold. I'm like, bro, like this is getting way out of hand. So anyway, days go by, and I always sat at the certain spot in the kitchen, in the dining table. I was always gravitated to that spot. Didn't know why, but I always sat there like by myself in the days, just out of it, just thinking, that was my seat. Well, when I invite my neighbor over, he's like, "Oh, you sit in the same place that the old man used to sit on."
What?
I'm like, "Bro, what?"
You
I'm
gotta move out of
I
this place,
think your
man.
neighbor is like
yeah, he wants to buy your house at a cheap price.
Every time you tell him something, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the old man for sure."
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
the neighbor is screwing you
He's
over.
messing with you.
He wants your house, or he doesn't
Because they
like
So
have
in
to
the end, are you
inform you.
out?
When you buy a home, if somebody has just passed away in it, they have to inform
No.
you somebody
No,
died in the home.
They have to
Murdered.
tell you if somebody was murdered.
Murdered.
They don't tell you if somebody died there.
Or they don't have to tell you if somebody died.
That somebody just passed away, and it was actually the son who rented it to us. And my wife, where she messed up, and she started throwing away some of his stuff.
Oh my God! And then he really got
He's
mad.
mad.
So wait, how long
That's
ago was
what
this,
peeved
Mario,
him.
where it started, and is it still going on, or did y'all move?
No, we moved out, but I think whatever was with that, it attached to us because it's still bothering us to this day.
You're kidding me.
Really?
How long ago was
Literally
that
to this
started?
day. This was 11 years ago,
Oh,
but
that's
we
right. We
still
said
get
your
bothered
phone
with
was
paranormal.
So
in the
he
new
followed
house
you
we're
to
in.
your new home.
Whoa.
Yeah, we think so. We think so.
Just put Matlock
We
on
think
and
so.
make him.
Mario, you gotta get that company. We had
Keep
them
him
on
at
years
home.
ago.
Make
Lone
him feel
Star
at home.
Spirits is in Houston.
Yeah.
You should have them come do a thing on your house.
I still think the neighbor was doing that on purpose, so the son will have to sell it because he can't get renters,
Yeah.
and then he'll buy the land.
He had a
'cause
motive.
He wants to make like a bigger yard or something. Tear it
Oh,
down.
man. Okay, well, y'all can go to the listener line and share stories with us about weird things that you've seen. Somebody said they saw a muscle man walking his parrot. And Ryan saw a guy with a parrot on his shoulder. Eric saw dirty run over underwear in the parking lot.
I don't know who that was.
Okay, let's switch
We call
gears
Laura.
here.
Hey, Laura, did you have your underwear on last night?
Why would Laura have her underwear out in the
She's the last
parking
person
lot?
that worked late. I don't know.
But we don't know who else is here at night. We're not the only ones in the
That's a
building.
big accusation
There's
here.
women's underwear. I don't know.
That
She's the last person here. I don't.
My vote is for
got lucky
somebody's
last night.
underwear fell out of their car when they were transporting laundry.
I
don't
want to know.
sometimes I get changed in my truck in the parking lot because I have to go to
You
my
change your
rental.
underwear in a truck?
No, not my underwear. I mean, if I'm not wearing any, then I probably wouldn't have to do that.
Why would you
right?
not be wearing underwear?
Why?
Is it
I
actually
mean,
goes in
sometimes
Here's
you
one of
just
his panty lines.
yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, let's change gears here. It is about relationships, and this is kind of an interesting thing because I wonder how many people listening right now to the show are in this situation. There is someone in your life that you keep around because there's a possibility of a romantic future. You want to keep that open. It's called a back burner relationship.
Okay.
You guys are not presently committed, but you keep in touch with each other so that, there's a possibility.
Like this weekend, if you don't have a date, you could call them up and say, hey, you want to go to a
like,
Halloween
hey, let's
party?
go to a Halloween party or
That's kind of cruel, don't
back
you think?
burner relationship. Somebody waiting on your bench.
If
like
they
getting
know,
benched.
they're a bench warmer, then it's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
cool.
y'all are both each other's bench warmers.
If you know it, if you're doing that on purpose,
If it's
stringing
only
them
on
along.
one side, like, oh, that person really pining away for me, I'm going to take advantage of it.
We'll talk about that. I also want to know if people are going on dates this weekend
For the first time?
for the first time because it's Halloween weekend
Your
party.
first date in Halloween
Now,
weekend?
but let's be specific because
Or weird.
anybody could just go to dinner on Saturday and just people watch if people are dressed up. But are you saying going on a first date and you have to wear a costume?
I'm just thinking first
Just
date
the first
this
date.
weekend because there's so many possibilities.
Okay.
Seems could be fun, or was that a bad idea?
713-390-KRBE, or is it your back burner relationship that is
Exactly.
going on a first real date with you on Halloween weekend?
We'll talk about all of it.
Next on the Rule and Ryan Show.
From the Bell Furniture Unbeatable
Relationship. Maybe you have one and you don't know that's what you should be calling it. A back burner relationship, as defined by researchers, is a person who you are not presently committed to, but y'all keep in touch in order to keep open the possibility of romance and in sexy time
I
involvement.
don't think that's healthy.
Someone
I really don't.
on your bench, kind of. Like they're not the main player on the court. They're on the bench.
But some people can love more than one person at a time,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. I know you can love more than one person.
I can't. I'm like a one person focus. Like I can't imagine dating 3 people at one time.
No, I wouldn't want to do that either.
Like,
Because
first of all, how
then
do you
it's
afford
kinda
that?
weird.
How do you remember their names? How do you remember the stories?
And
What
are you
happened?
supposed to tell, what's the etiquette in telling somebody when you're first dating? If you've gone on a couple dates with
There you go, right there.
dude person A, and then you met dude B somewhere, and you're not exclusive with dude A, but B's like, oh, let's go to dinner. I'll go to dinner with dude B, but am I supposed to tell person A?
All right. Well, we'll do anybody listening right now. Anybody listening to the Rule and Ryan show? Are you dating more than 3 people right now?
More than 3.
Yeah, or at least three, at least
713-390-KRBE. There's 3 people minimum that you're going on dates with.
When
I'm not
you
saying-
feel bad, though, let
So I
me
want to
ask
know
you.
good about the number. That way they can.
All right, 713-390-KRBE.
We'll keep talking about other things. But if
Are
somebody
you
does
dating
go-
more than
Right.
3
'Cause
people right
I'd like
now?
to know that. Really makes a good point.
Yeah.
Do they know? Do the other ones know? That
Right. Like,
they're-
am I supposed to tell the guy that I've been on 4 dates with that I met somebody at my friend's
probably not
office?
gonna divulge that information.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, what are the etiquette lines? If I came to my friend's office and I met a guy there and he tells my friend, hey, I really like your friend, and she says he wants to go out with you, I'm like, okay, I'll go on a date with him. I'm not committed to anyone, but I've been on 4 dates with this guy.
Or if
and
you let
then-
them know, I think that's good. If you let them know, it makes them they're going to up their game. Especially guys, they like the hunt. You know, they want to really compete.
But I would feel really terrible if I went out on a date and I felt the chemistry and the sparks, and we went on another date, and you can really feel the romance in the air, and then to know that the very next night they went out with somebody else, that would be kind of crushing. Like I don't,
Why? I mean, if
I
they're
don't like,
dating-
I don't like that though. Like that is not the kind of.
She's mine now. No one
No,
can.
I'm not trying to be possessive, but I mean, I don't think it's not for me. Like in other words, I would want monogamy.
But what if she didn't tell you? You just never knew.
Well, that would hurt.
Lying by omission.
That would hurt.
that what that is?
When you feel hurt?
Well, yeah, but then comes the question of, well, what am I owed? If we are not exclusive, what am I owed? If you're not being physical, are you owed the information?
Let's find out how it works. Michelle,
Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the Rule and Ryan Show.
Hi, you'll have to excuse me. I'm in the Chick-fil-A line, so
Nice.
just excuse me right now.
Yeah,
that's
we can give
okay.
you something.
Biscuits.
I'd really appreciate
Bring
it.
a biscuit over. Okay, so we asked
You
the
got
question.
it. Anything you would.
Yay. 3 people or more. Are you currently casually dating 3 people or more?
Yes, I am. I met somebody like at a party, and I'm on Bumble, and I'm kind of dating a couple people, got on some dates, and it's really kind of hard. It's like a job in itself.
Is anybody in the lead? Like, is there one you like more than the others?
Yes. Yeah, I do. It's like I like this person better in some ways than I like this other guy in another way. It's like I wish I could put them two together.
That's what I was wondering if you could put them together
Make
and
the
make
ultimate
perfect
guy.
man.
Can I ask how old you are?
I am 50.
Okay. Now,
And
do you,
I was married for 20 years and divorced last year, and just kind of, it sucks dating in your 50s, I'll tell you that.
do you feel like you owe any of these guys the information to tell them about the other guys?
I was just thinking about that. When I heard you on the radio, I was thinking, God, do I? I mean, are they telling me that they're dating other people? I don't know.
So you haven't told them. They don't know that you're with other dudes.
No, sir.
How many
No,
dates
sir,
have you
they
been
don't.
with? Like, how many dates do you think you've been on each of them?
Probably like 2 apiece, maybe, and then
Yeah.
one I'm kind of seeing, casually.
So you're
a lot
not
more than the
too
other one.
deep into it.
It's like the
then with any of
Bachelorette
them.
over here you got going on.
Yeah, it's cool.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let us know what happens there, Michelle, with what you decide to
Do
do.
you do you have like a rule, like if you get intimate with one, then you probably get rid of the others, or you don't care? You just try to.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like testing. I mean, just kind of seeing what's out there and what happens and what folds. And
Have you been
You know,
intimate
it's
with
like-
any of them yet?
yes, I have.
More than one?
Yes.
Okay, so that does not give them the lead, though, in your eyes.
But that makes you compare them, I bet. Like,
For sure.
this guy,
Yeah,
that guy.
just when you vibe
Oh,
with
yeah.
more, chemistry-wise.
She hears,
Okay.
she goes, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. One other question, Michelle, before we let you go, because you said it yourself in the course of you telling us how you were listening to us, and that's why you called in. Are those guys then dating other people that you don't know about? Have you ever asked them, or did you not think about it until you just heard us saying it?
I just kind of thought about it after I heard y'all say it, talking about it actually.
Yeah, because here's
You
the
know,
thing: if
that's-
you are doing it, it doesn't mean they're not doing it. But for some reason, in our
That's
minds,
That's a
we
good
kind of
point,
think
Rolla.
they aren't doing
Michelle,
it.
how would you feel, if you had just had a wonderful, beautiful night, you were intimate, and to find out that the very next night he went out and slept with somebody else? Would that bother you?
No, because I don't want to be a hypocrite, and that wouldn't be right. You
Okay.
know. So
Okay.
I just
That's good.
I couldn't get upset as them for something that I'm doing. It would be like.
Okay.
All right, well, go
Fair
get your
enough.
chicken biscuits,
And,
girl. Get
so,
your Chick-fil-A on.
I would be upset at first, but then I would be like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I can't say that I'm.
Hey, look, we appreciate
no,
your
that's
honesty.
tough.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
your honesty.
It's
Really
tough.
do.
Yeah,
date-
yeah. It's
date
really
guys that have the
tough,
same
but-
name.
And for
Easier.
those that just tuned into Michelle, she said it's like a job. Dating 3 other people casually is like a job.
Then maybe just focus on one.
So thanks a lot for calling, Michelle. She's not sure which one
There's
she
a girl
likes
named
yet.
Nicole, but she called, but she just hung up a little. Like,
What was her
20
call
seconds.
about?
She's dating like 3 or 4 guys.
I'm watching for.
Do they know each other? Did you ask her off
I
air?
didn't have enough time. I was
Didn't
only
have
like
time.
I had enough time to say,
Yeah.
okay, hold on. and
Okay.
then-
I think it's
let me
everybody.
read these
If
texts real
everybody's
quick.
on the same page and everybody knows, but if you're misleading, I think that's obviously wrong.
But wait, I mean,
This
it's your
texter
life.
says
You-
he went on a date with a girl a few times. She told me she was dating multiple people to try and find the right person. It was a turnoff. I didn't want to feel. I didn't want to waste my time and effort. He says.
Yeah, and
So-
he's entitled to that.
But he is entitled to that. But here's the other weird thing, because I would feel kind of like fooled if the person I was going on dates with did not tell me that he had 3 or 4 other people he was rotating, but I did not specifically ask him.
You think age mattered? Like if she's 50, I mean,
Keep her options
she
open.
was-
you might
she
keep your
was
options open. If you just
also-
date one at a time, that
Yeah.
might take a while. When you're
Well,
20,
yeah,
you're like,
she was also in a very long term marriage and
Anyway,
just got out of
she's
it.
got- oh,
So
that's
how about
fun.
this? Let me ask you this question for fairness, if it's fair. If I meet you on an app and we go on a date, or on the first date, if I straight up ask you, is there anybody else you gone on dates with from the app? Like right now, are you dating anybody else from the apps? And you say no, and then I also say no. Does that then somehow clamp us to, well, now we can't see anybody because we had this conversation?
Oh.
It would be weird, right?
I mean, you can always see until you're exclusive. You can always date more.
Yeah, and you can
people.
also
There's no
even,
rules.
but would
like
you feel weird about it?
if you're using one of these apps, you
would,
can
but-
actually put that on your profile. Really, only interested in dating one person at a time.
exclusive. But then that makes people like, oh wait,
You're worried that you're going
This
to have
person wanna get married or
insta
something?
relationship. Yeah.
There was a lady that I met one time in the waiting room of the doctor's office. And then who has those conversations? Of course, me. And in the waiting room of the doctor's office, I don't remember how we got on the conversation. Maybe there was like a talk show on. It was like couples dating or something. And I was married in 2009. We didn't have dating apps like that. Like it's so prominent now to be on Bumble or OkCupid or all that. And she flat out says, just conversation in the doctor's lobby. You know, I don't even waste my time. On my profile, I put exactly what I want. And if that guy doesn't pack, then I don't want him. And I look at her and I go, what? Like, you might
Wait,
like
she has
heat? Are you talking about guns? And she's like, no, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Really?
And I said, you put that on your profile. She goes, absolutely.
Does she say the word packing, or is she
No, she is
specific?
100% scientifically wording specific what
Okay.
she wants
Okay.
and the
Okay.
physical
Okay.
humanity
She's
of a
giving
man.
actual dimensions.
And she
Okay.
says, if you do not have this, please do not respond to my profile.
Gotcha.
See.
And I said, oh, and how's that working out for you? She goes, oh my gosh, I'm very busy. And I was like, wow.
Well, don't you remember?
Really?
We
Weirdest
actually.
conversations you had in the doctor's
she
office.
cares more about that than she does about like.
She said that
looks
she had,
or-
if I remember correctly, I mean, she was older than me. I don't know
Well, people have
what her
criteria,
age
Eric.
was, but she was definitely older than me.
Just because
And she
they're
said she was
crap?
done playing around, trying to figure it out. Like, well, this guy's nice, but he doesn't
Imagine if a guy
offer
did that.
this.
Oh, if you don't, you gotta have double D's. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
don't
that's
care
basically
Well,
what she
what
was
your job
saying.
is.
out
Women
there.
would think that guy's a pig.
Yeah, so I'd think she's a pig.
And she said she was just, I'm tired of wasting my time. And I was like, wow, that's the conversation I didn't think I ever
Do you
had in a
remember,
doctor's
Rilla?
office.
I believe,
You're like, what the hell?
Rilla, you were probably the first person to introduce us to the term 666.
Oh, yeah, I remember we did that years ago. It had to be 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, minimum 6 inches. Okay, just let you know. That's what it is.
Man,
Tools and
I'm not even 6 feet
measuring
tall. Dang
tape.
it.
You have to have at least a ruler that goes that much.
Well, you
know.
got one of the three.
Because we did that. And you know what's interesting, guys? A lot of people on text are judging, you know, people who are dating and sleeping with everybody, but that's only because we're talking about it. Do you know how many people do this and nobody talks about it? They just want to pretend like I'm going to close my eyes and put my blinders on and just, if I don't think you're dating anybody, then I'm just going to not think you're dating anybody.
Someday we gotta do that. Like, how much do you spend a month on dating?
It can be expensive. That's why
Like
that list came out,
food and all
because
the-
men are like, I am tired of being taken for a ride where I buy an expensive meal and this girl is using me for the food. And then there are other girls are like, well, I actually want to like you, but you're not respecting me by taking me to IHOP for 2:00 lunch.
Yeah.
That's where that whole thing comes into play, Eric, for how much money people have spent. And everything's expensive now. And remember that lady called us months ago and she goes, you're lucky if you get a dinner on a date.
That's what I love about
On a first date?
Like my wife, because I didn't have any money, she didn't care about that
She
stuff.
just cared about who you
We
were
spent more
on
time
the inside.
getting like DiGiorno pizzas, which was kind of ironic that I was doing
DiGiorno commercials.
commercials for them. And
It is a
that's
very
what we
tasty
ate.
pizza. Delicious.
Ooh, maybe I'll have one for lunch.
Y'all can go to the listener line at 713-278-VENT. That is where the conversation can
This
continue.
guy, a grinder. I request nothing but 7 and above.
Oh, my God.
At least he's not pulling any punches. The Billboard Award nominations came out. Guess who leads the pack in nominations? We'll talk about it next in Scoop on the Rule and Ryan Show.
Rulin' Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
104.1 KRBE.
It's brought to you by Innovative Lasers of Houston. 10 a.m. this morning. Your next keyword is going to be revealed for you to score tickets to the Nutcracker Market. That is a fantastic holiday shopping market, and it's going to happen November 9 through 12 at NRG Center. November the 8th is the special VIP preview night, where it is free food, free booze, free valet, and you can shop to your heart's content from 7 to 10 with like a tenth of the crowd.
And you can watch us in our natural habitat.
That's
Gorilla
our
shopping
natural
and me
habitat.
at the bar.
Yes, that's 100% true. My husband and my husband Tassos and Eric have a bromance date once a year, every year.
Yep. I
It's
didn't
that
see him
night
last
at the
year.
Cracker Market.
The Crackhead.
I
What'd
said
you call me?
I said the Cracket.
Wait, you're looking at me?
Nutcracker Market. I said the Cracket. Is that gonna be the new code phrase now? The Cracket. Anyway, so it's gonna be really fun. And if you win the grand prize, that's what you win. You win 4 tickets that preview night, and those tickets are good to get you in the rest of the weekend. And then you also get $1,000. Sweet.
That's pretty Nice.
All right. So the Billboard Music Awards came around at a time where we were very invested in award shows. When the MTV VMAs were around, everyone's like, "Oh my God, the VMAs are on!" Or like the Grammys, the American Music Awards. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this is such a great."
It's the only show I was
awards."
invited to. Kevin and I went together.
The American Music
Billboard?
Awards.
Or American
Billboard
Music?
one, right? Wasn't it?
You're
No,
not-
y'all
I've
went
been
to
to
American
all
Music.
of them, and the billboards were probably the most fun because they're in Vegas.
Yes.
is when I would do that.
You guys did American Music together, and then the three of us
Oh,
did
yeah,
the
we went to
national Billboard broadcast.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, I
So,
remember that.
For those
yeah.
that don't know that, me and Ryan and Eric had to go to a Dallas radio station because it was the
like a
home
big
base.
hub where they do syndication.
That was where Westwood
for
One was.
a
Yeah.
national broadcast where we were basically doing the play-by-play of the Billboard Music Awards on the radio nationally. And the Billboard Music Awards always stumped me because I'm like, wait a second, there's no suspense to who's going to win that.
They know.
Because we right now know who's number one in the Billboard Hot 100, and if you just look at the year and you just count the number one per slot and see who had it the most, then you know who's going to win that.
pretty much.
Pretty much, but it's still lots of star
But
power
people are
there.
lazy. It's like we do Dumb Question Amnesty.
They don't really take the time
You
to
just call
look
us
it
and
up.
ask us, right?
You just Google it.
So Taylor Swift is the leader of the pack, but she has a whopping number, way more than what you'd think. Oh, usually it's like, oh, this person leads with 9 nominations, this person leads with 10. No, Taylor Swift leads the pack of nominations with 20.
Oh my God.
With 20 nominations for the Billboard Music Awards. And, we play Cruel Summer a lot. And I mentioned the last time we played that, people who are not big Taylor Swift fans don't realize that is not a new song. That is a song that did not hit when the album Lover came
Someone said,
out.
was that during COVID? Remember she had that album that came out.
Was,
She had-
was,
she- remember
was
she
Lover
had, like,
out
a
during
slower
COVID?
album?
I don't know the year it came out, but Lover is the one when she was on SNL. She did the song Lover, and it was an all green scene with green butterflies at a green piano, and it was real slow. And I was thinking, what is this new song of Taylor's? But ever since the Eras tour, Cruel Summer has become monstrous success for her again.
Let me say that word. I think of that other Cruel Summer song.
Sung by Bananarama.
Yeah.
It's
Same.
a cruel, cruel summer.
And then there's like a remix that's really dark with that song.
Oh, really?
Oh, is it really?
I think I've seen for a trailer for like movies or something.
Oh.
You mentioned that Eras tour, and we all predicted it. We said by the time this tour is done, she'll be a billionaire.
We didn't
She's-
predict that, Ryan.
No,
we read
said
that stat.
We said she'd make $1 billion off
we
that
were
too.
like,
She's already worth half a
She's
billion.
gonna
She was already
skyrocket
She was
with
already
the money
worth
making here.
Before the tour, she was worth $500 million. She is now officially worth $1.1 billion.
Yes,
Good
that's
for her.
true. And she doesn't even have a clothing line or a shoe line yet.
Oh, once she does
Imagine when that happens.
When she gets married to her
When she has baby
Kelsey.
clothes. When she has baby clothes. I know. And I know that some people are like, oh, whatever. We're not going to focus on the Travis and Taylor thing. But let me tell you something. If you really think about this, she's 34 and he's 34. And they have equal amounts of fame and money.
And he's only got a few years left.
It could be a match made in heaven for them to try and go the long haul with each other. Because they have the most
She may be
commonalities.
thinking babies.
You know what I mean? Could be commonalities that draw them together versus her having to compete
that
with
baby
someone.
could be a singer and football player.
Right. Either one.
Or we know Taylor's history and
Yeah.
It'll be the next album.
What was that, Kevin?
It's called the Kansas City Blues.
He'll just be a song.
yes,
An album.
Maybe.
Nothing
Yeah,
but
it
a
could
song.
be. And also, people were really hoping that Adele would give us really good songs after her divorce. She did Go Easy on Me, and she made a lot of money on that. Her tour, her residency is extending in Vegas until June 15 of next year at Caesars. But, Adele is another one that made monstrous money off of heartbreaks and relationships, right?
Yeah.
Monstrous money. We just didn't know the people she was dating. Taylor's people, we can identify there were some famous people there because when you run with the famous, you're going to date a famous person.
Would you rather be
Right?
happy and poor or wealthy and not so happy?
Like miserable.
Yeah. Heartache sucks, man.
I don't want that.
Breakups are
But
horrible.
doesn't heartache suck less if your water doesn't get turned off?
Yeah,
I
good
hear
point.
you, but,
You know what I mean?
but I'm
I
just
could be on a
saying,
wave.
The
like,
lights are still on.
I'm on a wave runner because I'm rich.
but when you
Of the
rather
ocean.
just like have a simple life but be happy, I mean, I would take that any day over.
But nobody knows that when you're in it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, that's why you've got to really savor every moment of every day and just like, hey, life is pretty good.
Yep.
Well, that's mature Ryan talking.
Oh yeah.
Talk when you were a 22-year-old Ryan. You'd be like, shut up, old man.
I would love to see if
I'm
you went
here for
back-
that.
if you went
I don't
back-
care.
I
I'm
know.
miserable and I'm
But
brokenhearted.
isn't
I'm
that
broke.
good,
I'd rather
though?
be rich and brokenhearted.
You'd be like, wait, you
know
just
what
bought
I mean? Like-
you bought a tombstone or a gravesite next to John Ritter?
I mean, it's
I
like
did not
right, exactly
buy
like what
that.
you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with the heartfeltness of it, but you are like Biff the older guy getting in the DeLorean to go see Biff the young guy
blew him off.
to say, get away from me, old
that
man. What's this
should be
book?
that
You know
should
what I
be
mean?
every human being's goal is to expand beyond the original programming, to actually evolve and change. You don't want to stay the same.
What do you think the
But you won't know that when you're 21.
22-year-old Ryan,
unfortunately.
if Ryan right now came back to see him, what do you think the question he would ask him?
What young Ryan would
Did I
tell
get to keep
current
my hair?
Ryan?
What young right? Well, you look at him and go, "Oh, I still got my hair." Yes, I don't
I
care
still got
about
my hair. That's all I care about.
Wow, that's funny. Because it is. I
then
think
what would
hair to a
happen is
man is like body size.
You'd be
to a
cocky
woman.
about it, and then somehow you'd lose your hair because you'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna have my hair no matter what," and then you would change the course.
Oh, yeah. It could alter the timeline.
Here we go.
Time for the Rula and Ryan Show on KRBE to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
All right, it is brought to you by Duncan. You know those driverless cruise cars, the ride-sharing cruise?
Yep.
They've halted operations right now. And they say the decision is not due to any kind of regulatory decision, it feels. But there was an investigation launched into the company after 2 crashes. So they're taking a proactive approach to rebuild the public trust. That would be kind of weird, though. If you're in a driverless car and it crashes, I'd think twice about
What's their
getting in
insurance
another.
Oh,
like?
No kidding.
You know, you get push and win, you get Ramsey. We have to ask those guys.
Now, this is what
Ramsey,
scares
by the
me.
way, if you have questions like Halloween stuff, he'll be
Ask
on.
the attorney?
Ask the attorney on Monday.
Monday?
around 8:20.
Cool.
That's always interesting. So now they're talking, this company called Archer Aviation, they're talking about a flying taxi. And this is really going to happen. It's going to be in New York and Chicago by 2025, and they do have plans for Houston as well. Now, the thing I don't like about this is like, you see all the wrecks every single day. I don't want a wreck happening above me because where's that going to go?
But they're not saying there's going to be 1,000 of
Down.
them. It's probably like helicopters. Like, say Galveston. You want to go to Galveston? You can be there in 18 minutes.
Yeah,
How long
I
does it
would,
take to get
I
to
would be
Galveston?
more worried
A
about
helicopter.
how does he get up in the air and stay at that
I see
short
what it
level
looks
without
like.
falling down.
It kind of looks like a
straight
drone.
up.
It's got like propellers.
Yeah.
Like 4 different propellers all the way around it. I've
pretty
seen
cool.
what it looks like. It looks really cool, but I don't want to be the first to test that out. I can tell you that.
I'm sure they'll go through many times.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Especially, with crashes and everything. That's scary. But they say it's going to cost the same amount. It'll be affordable. It'll be the same amount of money that you pay for an Uber Black.
Does anybody know, though, how long it takes a helicopter from, like I see
Tillman's
Tillman
helicopter
from his
from
hotel?
San Luis.
He goes down to Galveston to his yacht.
I can tell you they're fast.
How long does that take?
Somebody text us at 37530 if you ever work for Tillman
I'm
or
bad at
you,
math.
somebody else that's rich
give
has a
you an
helicopter
idea.
goes to Galveston.
Takes an hour in a car, and you're going like 70 miles an hour.
Okay, so
Yeah,
when
how many
I had...
minutes does it take to go on a helicopter from the Post Oak Hotel at 610
Well,
to the San Luis on the seawall? How many minutes is that? 'Cause
When
that's
I
where the
had
helipad is.
my accident, my skydiving accident, like 5-6 years ago,
how long did it take you?
and I was in Life Flight. It was 7 minutes to get from Rocheron to the Med Center. Now that would be
Is that what they told you? Because there's no way you remember that. You were near death.
No, that's what they told them.
I
My
was
whole,
gonna say, you were just like, I
like my
remember
whole
it.
family gathered at the hospital. They're like, "Holy crap! This helicopter."
I can
got
see
here
Ryan during it.
instantly.
Hey, how long is this taking, by the way?
This is taking way too long.
All right, coming up next. It's Friday Free For All time, guys. Yay! It's Halloween weekend, Friday Free For All. Does Halloween weekend play into the Friday Free For All special K? Okay, let's get to it next on the Rule and Ryan Show.